Now, let's speak about the Moi family. The Moi family is a family that never ceases to disappear from the controversies of this country. Now, yesterday, the news came to the public that Moi's grandson, Collins Kibet, was arrested in Rogai after being on the run for the last 7 months. Let's get down to business and get to discuss what is really happening. Being a Moi's grandson, that means you are entitled to millions and if not billions of money as just a member of the family, being a grandson to the late president of the Republic of Kenya. Now, Kibet was nabbed in Ongata Rongai on Wednesday, September 17th, bringing an end to authorities' grueling 7-month search for his whereabouts. Authorities have been pursuing the former president's grandson after he defied several court orders to support his 2 children. After a warrant of his arrest was issued earlier this year, Kibet went into hiding, leaving authorities struggling to locate him. Kibet's oath began back in the year 2021, when he was dragged to court by his ex-wife, Gladys Jeruto Tagi, who claimed he had neglected his financial obligations towards their 2 children. Now, at the time, Kibet claimed to be broke, saying he could only afford to cover his children's medical expenses through the National Hospital Insurance Fund, the NHIF medical cover. Cliche, right? How can a man, a grandson to a family that is worthy over 300 billion Kenyan shillings, be broke? Now, he further claimed to be living off well-wishers' contributions. Munatubebanga ujinga aji. This guy should suffer the consequences and be an example to the who is who think that they can neglect their children out there. Kazi yako ni kugawa mbegu alafu kulea watoto hawezi. Kibet should be an example of that. No, we can't be living this lie out here. This guy is the grandson to the former president of the Republic of Kenya. Are you getting the point? And he is entitled to billions of money as a member of the Moi family. Let's continue with this story because the story continues. Now, an affidavit from 2021 tabled before a Nakuru court suggested Kibet's children had to be moved to a public school due to financial constraints. Nanielewa? Since a court ruling in 2022, Kibet owed at least 2.2 million in expenses for his children. Now, meanwhile, Jeruto, who vied for a seat in the Koibatek ward during the 2017 general election, has claimed through a lawyer, Steve Biko, that she is incapable of financially supporting the 2 children on her own. In March 2024, it was reported that the children, both in their early teens, were forced to stay at home due to non-payment of school fees. The arrest warrant for Kibet was issued in March 2024 after he failed to honor court summons for 2 months. Now, amid multiple attempts to serve Kibet with court orders, the former president's grandson successfully evaded authorities, and contempt proceedings against him were inevitably initiated in January 2024. Now, in the past, Kibet attempted to deny ever being in a marriage with Jeruto and has claimed to have 2 other children with different partner who is based abroad. Tunaelewana? That is his claim. Now, the question is, this guy being a grandson of the former president of the Republic of Kenya, how can he lack money to pay for his children's upkeep? Now, when we look at the family of the former president, Mzee Daniel Toroitich Arap Moi, This family is family worth billions of money. It is a family that made a fortune back in the days. And Moi took care of his family. He took care of his family. Now, back in May 17th, it was published that Moi's grandson Collins Kibet continues to defy court order in child neglect case and has disappeared into thin air. It was claimed that the guy has left the country. Now the question was, just where is former President Daniel Toroitich Arap Moi's grandson Collins Kibet Moi? Mr. Kibet was accused of defying court orders to support his two children, and he had gone into hiding following the summons issued by the court. Despite a warrant of his arrest, he managed to avoid appearing in court, prompting questions about his ability to evade legal consequences. Since the court's ruling in June 2022, expenses for the children totaled to 2.2 million, as I said. A sum Mr. Kibet's ex-wife Gladys Jeruto was seeking to recover from the said guy. However, with Mr. Kibet absconded in court and the mother unable to meet the financial demands of school fees and related expenses, the children remained at home unable to attend school. Jeruto's lawyer Steve Biko informed the court that efforts to extend arrest orders were hampered by difficulties in locating Mr. Kibet. The warrant of arrest was issued on March 27th after Kibet failed to honor summons for 2 months. Now, these are some of the cases that we speak about in this country that requires to be highly examined, because the will of the late President Moi Kibaki, Daniel Moi, gave this guy millions and millions of money as a grandson and as a person related to the late president. He was given that, but he never at any time decided that it's time I support my kids. Now, in 2022, the said Kibet was seeking 30 million Kenyan shillings from the family to clear his bills. Now, the grandson of former President Daniel Moi petitioned court seeking 30 million to foot his bills. Collins Kibet Toroitich wanted court to order the administrator of his grandfather's vast estate to pay the money as they await the outcome of an inheritance case. Kibet had moved to court accusing Zerabanu Jan Mohammed of a plot to disinherit him. Senior counsel Jan Mohammed was the executrix of Moi's vast empire. Kibet told court that his grandfather was worthy over 300 billion. Through lawyer Pauline Omamo, Kibet said he was under extreme financial distress and was living on handouts from well-wishers. In an affidavit filed in court on April 7th, 2022, Kibet said the inheritance case was fixed for directions on July 17th, the same year. A time he argued was too far because payment of his bills was overdue. July 19th is too far off, noting that there is a looming deadline from the applicant's former landlord to pay his outstanding rent of 200,000 Kenyan shillings. The affidavit read. Now, Kibet said he was an orphan. His father, Jonathan Kipkemboi Moi, died in 2019 and the mother passed away 2 years earlier. Jonathan was Moi's eldest son. In his will also filed in court, President Moi shared his asset equally among his 5 sons, and in the case of the son's death, as in the case of Jonathan, their children would be bequeathed. Moi's sons include Jonathan Kipkemboi, Raymond Moi, John Moi, Mark Moi, Philip Moi, and Gideon Moi. Now, these are how many? 1, Jonathan Kipkemboi, Raymond 2, 3, John Mark Moi, Philip Moi, and Gideon Moi, the last born. Those are 5 sons. Kibet was demanding, among others, an accurate inventory of Moi's assets and liabilities and revocation of the powers given to lawyer Jan Mohammed to manage Moi's estate. Jan Mohammed was given the power to manage Moi's estate on October 9, 2020, after the former president's death on February 4 the same year. Now, being Jonathan's eldest son, Kibet said he was entitled to more than 5 billion Kenyan shillings. Kibet said he had 3 sons aged 24, 21, and 18, whose school fees he had to pay besides their welfare. He said his wife, Mashadi Amario, then was officially certified as a disabled person due to debilitating seizures that she suffered from and needed special care, which he was unable to provide because of his financial constraint. He said he is not able to pay his outstanding bills and can neither take care of the basic needs of his dependents. Are you getting the point? Now I shall quote what he said in court. There is no plausible reason whatsoever for the applicant and his defendant to suffer in the manner that they are suffering when their interests have been expressly catered for in the deceased will. And the deceased estate is well and truly capable of maintaining the applicant's needs and those of his dependents. The affidavit read, Kibet wanted the court to order Jan Mahmoud to pay him 20 million to cater for his accrued and immediate medical, food, clothing, education, transport expenses, and other needs. He also wanted the estate administrator to pay him another 10 million to start a business. Now, quoting the affidavit, pending receipt of his full beneficial share in estate, this honorable court to hereby order the respondent to make an annual lapsam maintenance payment of 30 million in favor of the applicant to cater for his business venture and accrued and immediate medical, food, clothing, education, and transport expenses and other needs. Now, this is inside the rich people's stories. Now, let's look at these. Let me ask, if this guy was not the grandson to the late president, would he be seeking ama angekuwa akifanya kazi ndi ashughulikia watoi? Alafu another thing, if you know, and you know, this is not him only. When you look at Jonathan Moi, the father to Kibet, he was a man that was faced with a lot of cases, including a case where he was accused of the murder of a British citizen who was a photographer in the country. And that case went just like that. So Kibet thinks because he has links to one of the families that ruled this country for the longest time, he can escape the justice system in our country. Oh, hang to you. Oh, hang to you, Mr. Kibet. Kazi yako si kumwaga mbegu alafu usilea watoto. Fuda wewe. Lea watoto blood clot. These are people that, you know what, sometimes they need to be questioned fully so that they can be accountable of their sins. If a member of the Moi family cannot take care of their family, how about somebody that works in the Mujengo? Wacheni ujinga bwana. Patia Jeruto pesa ya kulea watoto na watoto wasome. Kwanza, those kids should be learning in the biggest schools in the country. The Moi's family is one of the richest, and I mean not one, it's the richest family in this country, with a net worth of over 300 billion Kenyan shillings. For now, naachia hapo. I remind you to make sure that you subscribe to our YouTube channel, Celeb Corner KE, for more news and more updates.